Hey guys, I'm Ivo from Thisissoul Skate Shop, and in this video I'm gonna teach you how to fall like a rock star. Bam, boom, yeah! We are here right now on the Olympiaplein Skatepark. This is one of my favorite spots in Amsterdam. There's some of our friends skating in the background, so that's pretty cool. And we're gonna use this skate park to teach you the Rockstar, but you can do it everywhere. Everywhere where there's a flat ground where you would be skating, that's where you can do the Rockstar falling technique. It's one of the three main falling techniques. And maybe you think like falling techniques, I always just fall. But there are actually nice ways to fall. And we have three techniques. One is the Rockstar, which we're going to do today. The other one is the proposal, and the other one is the mermaid. Check out our YouTube channel to look at the instructions for those videos as well. When beginners fall, they usually fall like this, like a tree that just drops like this. And they end up in something like a push-up position, like this, all the way stretched without their knees touching the ground. And all the pressure like that comes on your hands, and that's the way that people actually break their wrists. And if you are like that, also consider wearing wrist guards, of course. But what's even better is learning how to fall properly by doing, of course, the Rockstar technique or one of the others. So what you want to do is you want to bring yourself to the ground and put your weight on your knees instead of on your hands. So first step is always the same, as you get down and then you bring your knees to the ground like this, leaning back with your shoulders. I'm gonna teach you all the little steps to take, how to learn this technique later in this video, but this is just the description of what it is that we're gonna do. The goal with this technique is not to use your hands so that you also don't break them, because the best way to not break your hands, of course, is to not fall on them. And you need knee pads for this technique, and they need to be nice and thick. So the thicker the knee pads are, the more you can rely on them and just fall on them and not fall on anything else by doing so. One of the main ways people actually fall is by using their hands as well. And it's a good way to do it like that if you have wrist guards like this that have a plastic cap here so that it slides. Let me show you what I mean. I'm gonna put on my wrist guards for this. Gonna go skate, get all the way down and go on my hands and on my knees like this. And you can also do this at really high speeds. And a lot of speed skaters, they practice this technique and they also teach this technique. But I think, however, that it's better not to practice this technique too much and actually focus on the Rockstar instead, because if you focus on the Rockstar, this more like doggy style technique where your hands are on the ground is kind of like an obvious alternative. So if you do a Rockstar and you miss it, you always go forward and end up in this doggy style position. But if you learn the doggy style position like this and then you slip, the next step is that you hit your head on the ground, and that's not nice. So there's no backup anymore. If you practice the doggy style, it's the end of the line. If you execute it like at 50%, you're not gonna have a good time. If you practice the Rockstar and you execute it at kind of like 50%, you're gonna do the doggy style instead. So you wanna be safe, practice the Rockstar a lot, and then worst case scenario, you're not doing it perfectly. Whenever something bad happens and you do something that's like 50% of a Rockstar, and then you're still fine, because the Rockstar has the head all the way far from the ground, and that's where kind of like you want your head to be, and also your hands. Everything's on the top is fragile, and on the bottom, like your skates are rock hard. You can fall on your skates, you can fall on your knees if you have good knee pads. So that's where your base should be. And that's what you should practice. So you need knee pads for this technique, and there's a couple of different types of knee pads. You want to wear the thickest knee pads that you can find. We here at Thisissoul Skate Shop obviously sell knee pads, so you can get them from us. We ship all over the world, of course. This is the ProTech knee pad. It's one of the cheapest, and then the more expensive ones are from TSG. But just think like the thicker they are, the better they give trust for you that you can actually use them. And that's kind of like the goal of a knee pad, is that they're used. It's different than like than a helmet, because a helmet the goal is not to use it. You should never fall on your head, and you should also not practice falling on your head. So it's a little bit different. You want to have good knee pads. That's really important. And what makes a good knee pad is that it should have a flat cap. For example, I have one other knee pad here, and it's more like a pointy shape. These knee pads, they change position because of the point, and you don't want that. So avoid these type of knee pads. One other thing to look out for is that all knee pads have this strap here, but you should also have a sleeve in the back. And this sleeve here has openings, and that makes it that it's less effective, because the main thing of the sleeve is that it keeps the knee pad in place. You want to have a knee pad that stays in place, otherwise you're doing a Rockstar and then you end up with your knee pad on your shin, and that hurts. So you don't want that. So look out for knee pads that have a full sleeve on the back. When you have your knee pads on, make sure that the bottom strap is really tight and the upper strap, it can be loose. Now we're fully prepared, so let's practice the Rockstar together. A good first step is to practice the final position, the form that you need to be in first. And there's only one way to do that, is if you have a little bit of a slope. So we're gonna go into the skate park. Don't be scared, everybody can do this here. So you just get up on one of the obstacles. You get into the Rockstar position. Lean all the way to the back, and you slide down. Woo! There you go. Always make sure to lean backwards, otherwise this will happen. Ugh. You don't want that. So let's go to the grass and practice the technique there first, because that's a nice stable ground to do it. For this we need to find a place where there's some grass, because the first step is to practice it on some grass. Whatever you do, however you fall, you want to get down to the ground on your own terms. So make a cannonball like this. Get as low as you can by having your hips on your heels. If you struggle with this, it helps a lot if you don't have your knees on lock like this, but if you put your knees over your toes as much as you can, like this, you see me doing now. That makes it that you don't fall backwards if you do a cannonball. So keep your knees over your toes as much as you can, and then go down. And then you need to tilt over your toes, so like this, and then go forward like that. Okay, most people will end up in like this doggy style position. If you struggle even with this, then you can also practice the proposal first. So you make a cannonball, and then you just do one foot like this to start with, and then do that a couple of times until you're comfortable. Okay, so you need to try this probably at least 20 times to do the Rockstar, to do it properly, because the Rockstar needs to be with your hips on your heels and your shoulders more to the back. So it's this position that you need to end up with, but the first time you're going to practice it, you're probably going to end up in this position. And then every time you do it, you need to come a little bit more to the back with your shoulders. So next time you do it, it's going to be like this, then like this, then like this, and eventually you're going to do it all the way like that. If you finish practicing it like 20 times and you feel comfortable on the grass, then you can go to a more smooth ground. So let's go back to the skate park. All right, next step is to try the same steps, but then on a smoother ground. So you make a cannonball. First time you're going to do it like this, then make a cannonball. Probably gonna do it more like this, and then in the end I want you to do it like this. All right, next step is to do it while riding, and I want to warn you, some people will fall backwards with this. That's okay, as long as you get down like a cannonball as deep as you can, at least. I mean, if you cannot go down all the way, just do it as deep as you can, because that will make the impact less hard. So you're gonna go really slow all the way to the ground, and push your knees to the ground and keep your shoulders in the back. That will make the impact also not hard. If you do it like this, the impact on your knees is also a lot harder. Okay, let me show you what the mistake is that some people do. I'm gonna go like this, then I'm gonna go like this, and then, oh. So some people have this, and that's okay. Like, it doesn't hurt a lot at least, and most people have this maybe once or maybe twice, but then they get it. So you'll be fine. Then the next step is, of course, to just speed it up once you're ready. So I think you need something about 20 repetitions again at a moderate speed, like at the low speed. First, you're gonna probably fall forward again, and then you need to readjust and lean more backwards every time. And if you succeed, you feel comfortable, you can speed it up until you can go full speed, I guess. Let's try full speed. Are you ready? Yeah? Yeah! This is actually a really nice exercise to do. So there's different fall techniques for different situations. And this one has one of the fastest braking power. So there's 2 knee falls, like you can fall on 1 knee or on 2 knees, so that's 2 techniques. And there's the sideways fall that we call the mermaid. If you fall backwards, you also use the mermaid technique, so you can like turn around and fall in the mermaid technique. And you need to be able to do them all, because you wanna use them in different situations. You use different falling techniques. And this one, the Rockstar that we're doing now, is really good because it breaks really fast. It's kind of safe because you use your knee pads. It's nice if you have really thick knee pads. You can easily just like jump on your knee and come to a complete standstill. And because it's such a nice safety measure, this also determines kind of like how you're skating. So how good you are with falling determines how good you are with skating. And by doing so, it also determines your speed limit. So never go faster than that you're comfortable to fall with. In more dynamic situations, for example, if you're skating in a circle on 1 foot like this, then if you fall, you usually fall to the side, okay? Also in a skate park, if you just flow around in a skate park, you also usually fall on your side. So for that, you use the mermaid technique. But if you just go in the half pipe and you go like forward, backwards, kind of like moves, then you use the Rockstar a lot. Let me show you. So a nice beginner move that anybody of you watching can do is just to go back and forward in a half pipe. It's kind of like going on a swing. So this is a nice little exercise, but the first time anybody tries this, it's kind of fun because they always fall, and they always fall predictably in kind of like the Rockstar position. So you go up, and then you're like, oh, you don't know what happens. And then you fall like this. So, and there's no problem, because if you wear nice knee pads, then you can just do this. And it's actually also a nice thing that you can then do on purpose. So the first time you're ever gonna do this, practice falling on purpose, so that, because it's gonna happen anyway. So if you set your mind to it, it's gonna be a lot better result. And eventually you wanna do this higher and higher. So you wanna be able to do this if you go really high, all the way to the top. Like that. So these are all the applications of the Rockstar, but you can also just, of course, play around with it and see where you can do it some more. Let's check out this wave here and see if we can do it over the wave. Because if you play around, you get better. And you want to play around with falling techniques, because that's the one thing that you should be able to be better at. Because if you're better at falling, you're better at everything. Okay, what else can we do? Maybe I can jump out of the quarter pipe and then go on the flat and then go down. Yeah! Woo! Awesome! All right, let's do the small one. Let's try the big launch box, but it's really long, so I hope I can make it all the way and slide down. Okay, try again. There we go. Boom, nailed it. All right. So don't forget to play around with this exercise, but also with other exercises, of course. If you want to learn more about what other exercises there are and how to do them, check out our YouTube channel for more information, because we make a new video every week. So you can subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.